and then I start to
and stuff like that. But like we do, but like you
what is a piece? Like what is peace?
That's who I'm back to.
It test, but I just hi you guys, it's your girl Kiera, and I'm back with another video. Welcome back to Enter Inner Thoughts with Kiera podcast. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification button just so you know the next time that I post my next video. And so today is gonna be episode 13, or I think episode 13 or episode 14, and we're going to be talking about failure today. And so before we get into the video, of course, as you can see, I have a lovely guest next to me, my friend. How you doing today, ma'am?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks for asking. What's your name?
My name is Shanice.
Yes, okay. And so how you been feeling today?
Honestly, nervous for this interview. I don't know what to expect.
Not the interview.
Like you going into a job interview, yep.
Yeah, that's what it feel like.
Yep. Let me sit correctly and everything.
You're silly. She is so funny, y'all. So with this video, for the first time, basically, we were hanging out yesterday, and I was like, you want to do a video of me? And she was like, yeah, sure. And so I ended up basically giving her my phone yesterday, and I was like, okay, pick a title that I already, because I had like a list of titles that I have already pre-planned, and I let her pick the title that she wanted to do, and she picked failure. And so you want to know a little bit of why did you choose
The reason
failure?
why I chose failure is because Kiera had said something something that I didn't really think of. She was like, you got to learn from your failures. If you can't be perfect all the time. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I need to learn because I really stress myself out trying to be perfect and not make mistakes.
Yeah. I feel that. I used to be like that too. And right now I've been learning to continue with being consistent with it, because sometimes I do fall back into my bad habits of trying to control things and trying to be so hard on myself that I feel like I didn't succeed in the way that I wanted to, but it's like, but I did succeed in a way, and so I would take away from the parts that I did do right and only focus on the bad things that I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would be like I took away from what I was working on because I was so worried about what I didn't do.
Yeah.
Share about failure.
Yes. So I often compare myself to other people that I graduated with. I just graduated in December with a degree in strategic communications. Mm-hmm. And everybody got a job using the degree and doing like advertising stuff like I want to do. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even close to that field right now in my current job. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I be feeling like I'm a failure because of that. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, because sometimes I feel like they have better opportunities than I was able to, because I had to work throughout college, and sometimes I work like 30 hours a week, and a lot of people, their parents paid for a lot of their schooling, so I didn't get to focus on school like they did, and do internships, and a lot of internships they're unpaid, so I wasn't able to do internships. So when I feel like when jobs look at my resume, they're like, she don't have any experience.
With that, it was just like, have you, like, by the way, you guys, how long did it take you to graduate?
It took me 4.5 years.
Okay, 4.5 years. And it was supposed to take you how long?
It was supposed to take me a whole 5 years. Mm-hmm. I was originally supposed to graduate this May, but my dad's health was declining, and he was really sad that he might not been able to watch me graduate. So I took 19 credits in the fall semester and went ahead and graduated.
Listening to that out loud, I couldn't do that. And the fact that you did that shows that is exactly what I said. We be so focused on the parts that we didn't do that we forget about the parts that we did succeed in. And it was just like, you really didn't fail. In reality, you finished college in 4.5 years and you were supposed to do it in 5. And with you having that mindset and having that strength to even do that in the first place says a lot about you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like sometimes we be so like we have to learn how to give ourselves grace through the process of things and understand that, like you said, like we talked about yesterday, like yes, you do have to fall, yes, you do have to make mistakes, yes, you do have to do all these things in order for it to make sense, to help you be able to put the pieces together. It's like you're not going to just have the formula. Some people do, don't get me wrong, some people have the formula, they could just put it together and then they just have it. But then, you know, you have people that it takes time to get there. It takes time to get to the step of where you want to be at. It's just more of allowing yourself to do the necessary steps to get there. It's like it's easier said than done, and that is something that I have learned. But I also learned that through the hard times and through the failures, through the times where you feel like you didn't do well, it's like those moments a lot of times push me to want to do better, or pushes me to find a better solution for it. Sometimes it defeats me. It makes me want to just go into a hole and, you know, like be like, hey, just let the failure just take over me. So it's a balance. And once you balance it, then that's whenever you are able to not allow the downfalls to overweigh the good ones.
Right. And I think lately I've been looking more of my failures than my achievements.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I need to start looking at my achievements, because I didn't really think about 19 hours. Credit hours is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really think about it.
Yeah.
Like hearing you say it, I was like, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, like that takes a lot of strength. Like how was it going through that though?
Honestly, it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
I went through depression and everything. At that time, I was supposed to be moving out with my friend, and then like a month before we were supposed to move in, she didn't want to move in anymore. So that was adding on to my stress.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so through that, like whenever you have your moments, whenever you fail, like what makes you only think about the failures? Like what do you think that causes you to only focus on that part?
Yeah. So the reason why I think about the failures, because my dad, he was pretty hardworking. He took care of our family a lot. Like he was like my main financial support person. So I want to be hardworking like him. Like he had like he'll go to work even when he's sick. He never took vacation and everything. And I want to be successful for him. But sometimes I feel like I'm letting him down, because I feel like he would see me at a different place right now.
Like, so do you feel like he would have wanted you to just only work and only try to strive to be just focused on work, or do you feel like he would want you to have a balance between working and also living life and, you know, enjoying the, you know, the hard works of your labor? You also supposed to take vacation, supposed to take time for yourself to where you're able to balance out all of that.
I need to learn that, because the first time I ever went on a vacation, it was when I was 21 years old. And before then, we didn't go on vacations. My dad, he worked like all year round. Like even on like sometimes on Christmas morning, he'll go shovel snow. And so he'll make money.
Yeah.
So he was always busy.
Okay. That makes sense. And so do you feel like he would have wanted you to focus more on you though?
I believe so, but sometimes I think he wanted me to like be able to pay for everything myself. I know like money is not like the whole thing, but having some money, it helps a lot.
Yeah, it does. But just being financially stable, just being able to support yourself.
Yeah, and as of right now, it's kind of hard being financially stable. Like since my dad passed away, I've been helping my mom a lot, and it's been adding stress on that. So I feel like even with that, I feel like I'm failing her because I'm not making enough money to help her.
Yeah.
and she's going through her own stuff that she is.
Yeah, I can feel that. You know, it's just like with those things, we also have to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves first before we're even able to help someone else. So it's just like a lot of times we're failing because we're exhausting ourselves to the point where we're not even able to pour into our own selves to keep pushing. So a lot of times we fail trying to take care of someone because we're still in the process of trying to figure out the formula to take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like whenever we genuinely take out the time to, not even genuine, but like take out the time to want it for yourself, because it's not easy. It's not easy, allowing someone that is close to you to tell them no whenever you know that what they're going through, you can only imagine what they have lost. We tend to try to compare the two, and it's not a comparison. It's just like your feelings are your feelings, and then her feelings are hers, because her feelings are of course going to be different. That was her husband, and then with you it was your dad, so it's going to be two different type of emotions. Of course it may be the same, what's the word, like the same concept, or the same type of, like, the same feeling, like where it aligns, but it was a different journey, but it still may be the same end goal, but a different journey. You have to find a balance for yourself to where you're able to succeed, and succeeding is not always just with money. Like you said, like, of course money does help, but it's also just being happy with yourself and being happy with what you're able to do in life, and the goals that you want to reach, and the opportunities that you want to be able to have. And it's just like, in order for you to be successful is by putting you first. And so I feel like right now, like, what is something that you've been wanting to work on to where you're not able to feel like you're so stuck in the negative things of your journey?
So I want to start, like, first is like whenever you have like a clean home, like you said earlier to me,
Yeah.
you have a clean mind, which is right now my home is a mess. So I really need to go home and clean it. But sometimes I feel like it's like too bad to fix sometimes, but it's not, I don't know, I just need to work on it, because I get sidetracked, and then I'll go on TikTok, and then I don't finish it.
Yeah. It's a form of avoidance.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like you may be avoiding it?
Avoiding it?
If you feel like talking about it.
I feel like avoiding it. Let's see. Honestly, I've never really thought about that.
Okay.
I gotta think more about that.
Because whenever you think about that part of it, that's how you're able to find the solution to the problem, and then you're able to find the formula for you that fits for you to be able to push through that and overcome it, and not allow it to overcome you. Because a lot of times whenever we feel like we're failing, we're in a fear mindset. We're in a mindset of feeling like we're not doing enough, or we're not getting there in a time frame that we felt like we supposed to have got there. But in reality, you got there in the time frame that you were supposed to. It's just that you're not in the present moment allowing yourself to understand that and see it, because you're so, like whenever we had talked about yesterday, we're so focused on trying to just get to the future. We just want the future to just happen right now. And it's just like we rob ourselves from being able, with being in the present moment, of understanding like things are good right now. Like, yes, it may be some bullshit in the mix of it, but they're good right now. Like, there's little goals that I did reach in this moment. Like, there's goals that I did accomplish with being able to have a roof over my head, have lights on, be able to drink water, eat, like all those different type of things. It's just like understanding that I could be a lot worse, not to put my feelings down on how I feel about like in the process of failing, or in the process of like feeling like I lost. But it's important to not be in that for too long, because once you're in it too long, you start to spiral, and things can get very dark. The process of going through, because from my experience, whenever I went through failure, I, like, for instance, relationships. Let's talk about that part. Like, I've been at a place where I feel like I failed myself with being able to allow myself to be loved in the proper way, because I chose to settle for less. I chose to allow people to do whatever. I just went with the flow of things, and understanding now that going with the flow is also putting yourself in a situation to fail, because at the end of the day, you're not giving that person any type of boundaries. You're not giving that person any type of anything. You're just allowing them to just have you with no expectations. And, well, not expectations, but with just no type of like respect towards me. Like, right. I just kind of just let them do whatever. And I may know what they're doing. A lot of times I know what they're doing, but I just ignore it. Mm-hmm. Then I like, here lately, I just been sad, because I've been feeling like man, like I felt myself, like I chose this path for myself. I allowed certain people to be in my life for too long. I allowed certain people to mess with my mind, or to make me feel less than of myself. Like I allowed those things. So it's just like I've been learning now to start allowing myself to focus more on loving myself, and focus more on what do I like, what do I not like, buy myself roses, cook myself dinner, do maintenance for myself, like do little things for myself, and not be so upset that the time that I lost with those situations, that I feel like now I'm not going to be able to have my end all be all and have that happy relationship, or have somebody that will actually genuinely love me for me. Now I know that I will, but at one point it was just like, man, like mm-hmm. It was just like, dang, Kiara, like you keep doing this whole cycle thing. You keep coming down to this end all be all of being mad that you feel like you failed yourself. But in reality, you have to just take that accountability and understand that, yes, that was something that you put yourself in. Now, how am I able to not allow myself to still be in that state of mind, or still be in that place in my life, and just working on me and saying no to things, even if I want to say yes, because we be wanting stuff, but we don't need it, How do you feel about that, like within your life?
I feel that a lot, because I feel like I had a bunch of failed situationships that I didn't intend to be a situationship. Mm-hmm. At first, it was like really genuine, mm-hmm. and like maybe like a few months ago, mm-hmm. I allowed this man to have access to me all the time. Mm-hmm. He texts me, he want to come over. Okay, come over. Mm-hmm. He want me to come over. Okay, I'll go to him. Mm-hmm. Like I allowed him to control everything, mm-hmm. and then once he was done with me. Mm-hmm. He just stopped responding to me. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I did something wrong. Like I failed that relationship. Yeah. Because, you think that stuff is going right. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden there's like a shift in their mood. Yep. And because I haven't been in a relationship in like 2 years, almost 3 years now. Because my previous relationship, I was in the relationship for like almost 2 years. Mm-hmm. And I allowed some stuff to go down, and that I really shouldn't have put myself through, because I really didn't know my self-worth. Mm-hmm. I really went through like self-esteem issues, mm-hmm. And then I feel like thinking back then, I feel like I did fail, mm-hmm. but I feel like that was something that I needed to go through, mm-hmm. and learn, so I don't have to repeat myself.
Exactly. That's some big facts. Like I never regret anything that I ever went through in my life. it sucks sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of people don't talk about that part because everybody be like, well, no, focus on the positive. Focus on the positive. It's just like, okay, but sometimes it's okay to focus on the negative in order for you to understand that it was negative, for you to actually healthily move past it, and understanding that this can help either grow you, and you can go through those growing pains and it could build you to who you are, or you can choose for it to break you and you just become this bitter, mean person that's always talking about how this happened and this didn't work out, and oh, this wasn't able to go through. And it's just like, the mindset that you have is what you attract. But whenever you have negative things be brought to you, like a lot of times God will place certain people in your life to test, to make sure that you actually really want what you're asking for. If you wanted to succeed in life, if you're wanting things to change, if you're wanting to no longer have these things happening anymore in your life, it's just like he will place certain things in front of you that will tempt you. And it's like, okay, are you going to stick your hand in the cookie jar, or are you going to just be like, oh, them cookies look good, but I'm a pass. Let me go ahead and get this strawberry or this grape, you know what I'm saying? And choose something more healthy for myself versus trying to dig in this cookie jar, knowing dang well that cookie jar gonna gobble me up and it's gonna be something bad. And I ain't, it's like, it's a choice. I feel like that we have, like, we can either choose to feel like that we're failing, or we can choose to feel like, yes, I failed, but let's see how we can get back up again and try it again, and go from there. But I feel like you have to want it. Like, you really gotta want that for yourself. Like, you gotta wanna get out that mindset, because it can be hard. It could be real hard, because it's just like you feel like you're never going to get out of it. Like, you feel like things are never going to happen. Like, financially, things haven't been the best, but I just be praying, and I just do what I can and focus on not stressing on what's not happening, and just allow God to do what he said he's going to do for me, and just be responsible with what I'm making. Be responsible for those funds, to where I can no longer continue with stressing about not having this or not having that, because I'm stressing about money, but then I'm doing dumb decisions with the money. So it's just like, make it make sense, Kiara. Like, which one is it? Like, it's just like, you have to be more strong-minded if you really want to be better, or succeed, or in whatever way.
So like you said, like with God, and he doesn't place anything in our lives that we can't handle. But it'd be really hard sometimes. It would be really breaking me down, like the past relationships, like my father's death, and then like other, like, and family relatives, and all this drama that I try to stay away from, but it just comes,
or that you didn't even ask for, but that was just part of your journey that you have to learn from and overcome. Them failures was a lot. It was a lot of falls. It was a lot of trying to get back up again. It was a lot of falling again, and then trying to get back up again. And it's just like, it's I feel like what I've learned is that it's a cool journey. Like, even though it can be stressful, like, even though it can be chaotic, it's like, here lately I've been seeing the fruits of my labor by doing the right thing, but without expecting things from doing the right thing. And it's just like, it opened up my eyes to see that, oh, this really does work. Like, this really is possible. Like, it really is possible to be able to balance the negative and the positive, and balance it to the point to where you're at peace, and you don't allow the falls and the bumps and the cracks and all those things. You just kind of see the beauty within it. It's like our stretch marks on our body. We just see the beauty within it, and just be like, yeah, my body's stretching. And then it's like, versus being like, oh, that's ugly, or let me fix that. It's just like embracing the holes, embracing the
Embracing your failures.
Yes. And just embracing just like your wounds. Like, I have a lot of battle wounds. I have scars on me that I love to talk about. You know, I like talking about those different type of things within myself. So it's just like, just not just not being so hard on yourself. Like, I just feel like it's just so important to just continue with loving yourself and knowing that it's gonna be all right. Like, and it's okay to not be okay sometimes. Like, it's okay to be in a moment where it's just like you just don't got it. And it's okay to just not have it. Just try not to, make sure finding people to talk to in moments like that too, because it's just like some people can also be failing too just by the people that they have around them, and the people that they associate themselves with, or having yes men, and the only thing that they do is just tell them yes, yes, yes. So yeah, you should do that. Yeah, you ain't wrong. They was wrong for doing that. They was wrong for doing that. You was right. And it's just like, no, they wasn't right.
Yeah, they need to really. I like friends that can call you out on your bullshit, because I be calling people out on their bullshit all the time, but I be looking back for like, they really let me do this, and I was over here looking crazy. I was in the wrong, but so I understand. I feel what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just like, I feel like failure can just come in all different types of forms. It's just it comes with just a lot of different things. I feel like through it though, like you said, it builds us to be who we are, and through it as well, it's just like, we talked about this yesterday when I was like, at least you know how it feels to be at the rock bottom. So whenever you make it to the top and you succeed, and you overcame all those things that you never thought that you could overcome, it's like, it's so cool to see, because it's just like, wow, like, I went through a lot. Like, there was a lot of things that I never thought that I was going to be able to overcome. There was a lot of times where I felt like I was just going to be a failure, and that's just what it was going to be. That was just going to be my label. Like, I had moments like that where it was just like I just wanted to give up. I just wanted to just let it be whatever it was. And I couldn't. It was always a part of me that would never allow myself to just give up on myself. And I know that it was, of course, God and then my guardian angels that he has around me that keeps me protected, and that keeps me going, and that pushes me and lets me know, like, hey, Kiera, like, you are the shit. In the most humblest way. You are the shit. Yeah, you may have cussed that person out or talked bad about them and hurt their feelings or made them cry. And, you know, and you understood that that's what you did. But at least now you're acknowledging the things that you're doing. At least now you know that you have fell down. You know you have went through a hard time where you have failed. Like, you know that. Like, you're acknowledging it. Now you're not ignoring it. Now you're not just being like, oh, I failed, and just keep it pushing. It's just like, no, I failed. Like, why did I fail? Like, what did I, not necessarily what I did wrong, but what could I have done better? What could I have, like, what better, like, how could I have looked at that differently? What could I have maybe said differently? What could I have maybe not have bought, you know, to where I was able to have this amount in my bank account? You know, what could I have said to that person to where that person no longer crossed my boundary, where now I'm in a place where I'm sad and upset because they hurt my feelings and they used me and they abused me? Like, what are the things that I could have done to prevent that? What can I do to make sure that the formula that I'm trying to create for Kiera don't fall? And if it do fall, what am I doing to make sure that I keep pushing to learn from that bump that I felt from, and keep going from there? So it's just like, I feel like that's the mindset that I've been having here lately, to try to keep myself, be consistent within embracing the failures in order to continue with growing.
Right. And I feel like I've been dwelling on my failures recently. Like yesterday, I had a whole breakdown, like right in the car while I was at work. I cried in my car, came in, and I tried not to make any eye contact.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't do it. So I went to the bathroom, cried a little bit, came back, And that's when Kiera noticed something was wrong with me.
Yeah.
And I really need to work on like talking to people because sometimes I feel like I don't want to put my stuff on other people, and so I just hold it in.
Yeah.
And I'm an overthinker, so I'm like, what if they tell me this and they start feeling this way about me, and you know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean because I have it real bad, and that's something that I've been working on. And by me, whenever I have those mindsets, I've learned that that's fear, and fear comes with a lot of different things. And so it was just like I had like a fear of like people feeling like I wasn't able to do what I was able to do by them seeing that I'm a little broken right now. And so by them seeing that brokenness, I didn't, like you said, you don't know how they're going to take that. You don't know how they're going to take you failing and then you taking accountability for failing. What are you going to think? And we can't do that to ourselves, because then it's just like we drive ourselves crazy over here trying to think about like, what if they say this or what if they say that? It's just like, nah, what if they just say, oh, okay, I'm sorry that's happening. If you ever need somebody to talk to, just know I'm here. You could easily get that, but we be so damn in our head that we don't even get nobody a chance to even give us that type of of energy, because we so stressed out and worried about how we gonna move or how we gonna say this, or if I do say that, like, then my boss gonna be like, well, maybe she's not fit for that part. And it's just like, no, like, they're gonna, as long as they see that you're willing to work on it and you're not just using it as an excuse or as a whatever, that's in life in general. Whenever people see that you're not, like, you're acknowledging the F up or acknowledging that hard time, or, acknowledging that you're not okay. And that's okay to acknowledge that you're not okay, because that shows more strength than anything. The weakness part, whenever you fail, is the part where you just don't talk. That's the part where I failed at, where I just didn't talk. Then I ended up putting myself in situations that caused me to have a setback, but then I'm still able to continue with. I learned that by me being acknowledging that I did that, helped me be able to push forward and move forward with overcoming that hard time. But I understand that, though. It's just like we just have to learn how to talk more, learn how to communicate more, learn how to just say how you feel in the most respectful way, and not worry about what somebody gonna say.
Yes, exactly. I feel like I'd be spiraling sometimes, and just wondering what they're gonna think about. And like, for me, I'm a first generation college graduate in my family.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm like on the stage, and everybody's watching every move that I'm making. And if I fail, that they're gonna be disappointed in me. Or I have my niece and nephews. They're looking up to me. They're like, oh, I want to be just like Aunt Shanice growing up. I want to have the things that she has. But if I'm not able to do stuff, am I really like telling them they can't do it either if I can't? That's the thing. I just be overthinking about that stuff too.
Yeah, but the simple fact of it's just like, you graduated. The fact that you're saying that you're the first generation to graduate, like, that is an accomplishment. Like, that is something that, not a lot of people can say, unfortunately. And it is, in this moment with us making this video, is showing me that neither one of us, yes, we have failed, but we have made very big achievements as well within our lives, where it's just like, you doing that overpowers the failure. You have your own place, you know what I'm saying? Now she, in the midst of moving into, your own place and upgrading your life and just progressing. It's just like, yes, you may be in the moment where it's just like, shit is hard, and why is shit, and why is shit looking like shit? What the fuck is wrong with the shit? Like,
yeah, right.
Like, what's going on? Like, this is a lot of shit. Shit. Like, man. But then it's just like, you've made accomplishments within the shit. Period. You've made accomplishments within where you have people looking up towards you. You have people that you may not even know that may be looking up towards you. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you have the degree in what you have, you still have the opportunity to do that. You're still breathing. You're still walking on this earth. You're still moving. You're still waking up in the morning, which means that God is going to continue with allowing you to have the opportunity to prevail in where you want to be at in life. It's just that you have to write down that formula. What's your formula? You let him know. That's what I have to do. I let him know. That's why I did my vision board. That was one thing that I did where I put it into place. This is what I want it to look like. This is what I want for myself. And I start off small. What I made the mistake of back then is that I always tried to start off big and then be upset that I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve. So I started to just make small goals to myself. And it was just like the small goals progressed into big ones. And then it was just like, oh, okay. So it just takes time and having grace through all of it and knowing that you gonna get there. And it's just like you're closer than what you could even put together. It's just that the extra stuff in front of you, you're tended to allow it to distract you and not be able to focus on the good things that are happening around you.
I need to start celebrating my achievements than like looking at my things that I didn't do. And so I most likely I'll start doing better. Because right now I'm not in a good headspace. I need to work on myself. Even like with my relationship with God, I feel like it's been going downhill. Like I lost faith once my dad passed away. I was praying, and his health just kept going worse and worse and worse. And it was like we're learning more things that are wrong with him as it was progressing. Like first they were saying that he was gonna go home. The next week he just had to do physical therapy and stuff, and then next week he on a ventilator.
So it's just everything was just happening real fast, and it was just something different every day.
Right. And then I started my job at my current job right now, and I feel like since I wasn't able to take those classes like I was supposed to, I don't really know as much as everybody else like I'm supposed to. But I'd be really trying, and I overthink my answers at work. I feel like I'll be failing customers, but I really need to look at failure as a different way.
Yeah. And so go back to the relationship, like feeling like, so you felt like God failed you in a way.
Yes.
Let's talk. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that? Like,
yes. So I felt like God had failed me because, he says, come to him to tell him how you're feeling. And I told him how I was feeling. I made all these promises. If you let my dad not pass away, to keep him alive, that I'll start doing certain things like go to church more, read my Bible, and start doing better in my relationships with romantically. And I feel like he didn't listen to me. And so I feel like me praying or doing anything didn't go anywhere. And so I was like, there really is a God? So now I'm kind of getting back into being religious, or not even like super religious, like more spiritual. And but I feel like I'm failing at that because I don't know how to start.
You just continue with just how I did it. I just talked to him. I was mad at him too, I ain't gonna lie. Now, I didn't understand him at one point in my life. I didn't understand him. Sometimes I didn't like him, which may be so crazy to say out loud, but it's the truth. Like, at one point I didn't like him. At one point I didn't understand him. At one point I was very frustrated with him. It was things in the Bible that I didn't understand. It was a lot of things that was just very confusing to me. even within my own life of things that I just didn't get. So I get where you're coming from with that. So I feel like I respect you for being honest about that, because that's not easy to talk about, because a lot of people don't talk about that part where they have that battle with God, where it's just like where you go through a moment where you don't really believe in him sometimes, and you lose that faith, and you lose the faith through those hard times where you feel like he failed you. But it was just like, sometimes what I learned is like, we can't make promises that we're not gonna really do, because we're trying to make promises, but we're trying to get something out of the promise that we're making.
Right.
So whenever we're trying to get something out of the promise, then he like, I'm gonna have to, like, even though it is gonna hurt your heart, even though it's gonna be, a hard time for you to go through, this is something that is part of your journey, and this is something that, it's not that I wasn't listening to you, it's not that I didn't care, it's not that I didn't want you to have him around, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was more of like, let's think about the times that you did have him, because how old are you now?
I'm 23.
23. Mm-hmm. So it's just like you were able to have those years. Like, yes, we wish that we were able to have more, of course, and I understand that. Well, I don't completely understand it from your point of view, but I understand like what you're saying with wanting that more time, and wanting more time just with your dad. Like, I feel that, because like your dad didn't have a choice. It was just so happened that bad health depleted his body and caused him to go through what he went through. But I also feel like through that, like, yes, like with the job that, like, we work together. We're not gonna mention the job where we work at, but we work together. And one thing about Shanice is that even though she went through that time of whenever you lost him, she had so much strength within it. Even though I knew that you were broken through it, and you were still smiling, like being this light, you know what I'm saying? And you didn't have to be. That's the thing. Like, you could have just been sad. You could have just been, and had the opportunity to, ever rightfully so. But instead, you chose in that moment, without you even realizing it, probably, that you chose to not allow what was trying to defeat you and trying to pull you back. You chose to just be like, okay, this is happening, but let me just push through it. And it was, I was kind of like, why is she here? like I think you need about two more weeks off. But it was just like, nobody would have ever even known that you were going through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, you gracefully go through hard times, but you go through them in quietness. And that was that part that I didn't want you to have to go through, because I went through that before. And I went through moments where I was failing, or moments where life was life, and you know what I'm saying? And life was not all of what it cracked up to be. And I was alone. I had people around, but it was like my sister, but she lived in Arkansas, so it was only over the phone. No one physically here that was able to be like, hey, Kira, you okay? And there was times where I didn't talk, like you said, like I was just a mute. Like, I didn't express how I felt. I didn't say how I was feeling, because as a kid, I wasn't fully able to express myself. So it was just like, I didn't want you to be alone. It was like, I knew I wasn't able to necessarily change it, but by me being there, or by me being present, or even just asking a question, or just being genuine, that could help fix it in a way. Not fix it to the points where it's going to change everything, but it could change the narrative in a way, I guess. Like, it can change it from not feeling as bad, even though it may still feel a little bad. It's like some type of weight lifted off your shoulder, some type of just like, okay, like it's like a relief of feeling like, not that somebody is like trying to give you empathy, but or sympathy, they're giving you empathy, and they're genuinely trying to just help, you know what I mean? And so that's why I always wanted to be for you, because I could tell that you choose to go through your battles on your own, and which is okay, because I go through my battles on my own too, but it's good to have a good support system through those battles, because you never want to spiral too far off the edge.
Right. And I think what really helped me go back to work is like, if I didn't go back to work, it wouldn't change anything. He still passed away.
Yeah.
It's just going to put me more and more behind financially. And my dad, he was all like, money, money, money. I can hear his voice. Why you not at work, Shanice? I didn't work this hard to put you through college, and you over here just crying and stuff. I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know,
and
like,
that's good.
Yeah. And like the day that he passed away, I had this dream, and it was so weird, because I can remember it vividly. And so I was sleeping, and then I'm hear my dad from the front room, and I come up and go into the front room, and he was like, Shanice, you gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. I'm in pain. And he was like sitting in his chair where he always does. And I was just trying to hold on to him, and he was shaking back. He was like, I gotta go. And I thought it was so strange. And that was the day that he was taken off the ventilator.
Oh, so that was him letting you know that, hey, I'm okay. That was him talking to you in another realm. That was his spirit letting you know, I need you, like he said, I'm in pain. So it was like, in that moment, he wanted you to know that he's gonna be okay, and it's okay to let him go. It's okay to just let his that flesh go, because his spirit is always gonna be alive. Which is, like you said, you be hearing his voice. That's because he be around you. I feel like he be around you all the time. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like he just be in the midst of us, just in general. And that's a gift. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is an amazing gift. But you are a Leo, so it makes a lot of sense. And y'all dreams, y'all can very much so tap into them dreams, and it can become a little, you know what I'm saying? But you was physically there. Your spirit was physically there, and he was just letting you know that he gonna be all right. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was strange, because that has never happened to me before. Like whenever my grandpa passed away, didn't even have like any dreams like that. All my cousins, they're like, I seen him and stuff, never seen him ever. So I was kind of jealous, because you know, he visited them, but he didn't visit me. Yeah. But how my mom had said that I'm trying to look at him like his physical form, and I'm not looking at his spiritual form. I'm looking for him, like he's standing right there, but I need to look at him like in different things I do, or like in nature and stuff as well.
Yes. Yeah, like I'll be telling you, like, when I see angel numbers, or if I see like different type of birds, so if I see like a red cardinal, I'll be seeing blue jays, or I'll see like eagles, hawks, like different things like that, and I'll just look up the symbolism of them, because there are a lot of animals. All animals are odoms, like they're odom, and so I look it up and understand like the spiritual meaning of them. If a rabbit comes to my path, a frog, like anything of that such, I can literally Google it, and it will let you know of what the other side is trying to let you, like, tell you that you need to either focus on, remove, or keep pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? That's that 3 recipe. Which one is this? The good, the bad, or the ugly? Like, all 3 of those, it aligns, and the nature and people and movies and shows, all of that gives us like some type of message that needs to be given to us. And it's just like, but yeah, okay, I like that. I may not cut that part out because I really like that. That's really cool. That's really cool, because it's just like your dad is really trying to let you know that you're not failing. You're actually making a lot of accomplishments through all the BS, and just be proud of yourself and know that yes, life may be lifing, but at least you have been able to see the lifing.
Life was lifing for sure.
Yeah,
it was crazy, but I kind of looked at the positives, and he wasn't hurting anymore. He really worked himself out like bad. Like he had to drop out of school when he was in middle school to take care of his siblings. And then he start having kids when he was 18. And so he didn't really get to enjoy himself. His mind was always work. I need to make this much money to be successful. But now I'm like really seeing that I'm not just because I don't make a certain type of money, I'm not failing.
Exactly.
It's like more mentality. Like, some people are like really poor, but mentally they're really happy.
Yeah.
So, and they're doing good. They don't focus on like their disadvantages or the situation that they're in.
Yeah.
They look at what they're currently doing. They're not focusing on the future as much.
Exactly. That's very true. And then the ones that choose not to think like that, they be the ones that are successful and have a whole bunch of money. Usually, for some odd reason, they be so unhappy.
Yeah.
They be so unhappy. And it be a lot of times because they got that money fast. And whenever you get money too fast and you not all the way right, money will never flow how it's supposed to flow and stick to you how it's supposed to stick, because the balance is not there. You got to have a balance within trying to, have the recipe of making sure that you can overcome your failures.
Right. Like going back to like relationships, I don't need to focus on how much money they have. Yeah, that is really good.
Yeah.
But men with the most money, they're abusive. Some of them. I'm not saying like all people with money are abusive, but you have to look at what's in their heart and not because you could be dating a devil, you know, and they're really sucking the soul out of you.
Exactly.
We had a conversation about that, because like you keep on pouring into them, like you said, and once my cup is empty and their cup is full and they're overflowing, it just leaves me with nothing. And then once they leave, I'm just left with nothing, with my cup empty.
Yeah.
And they took everything from me, and they're happy.
Exactly. So we think.
Yeah, we think.
Yeah, because what all is glitter is never always gold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't always gold, because they be going through their failures too. It's just like, because I noticed that too. Whenever I be so angry, because it's just like, wow, I gotta face the failure and they get to just shine, and God be like, no, they look like they shining, but just wait on it. Just, you may not see it, but just know that with all that glitters is not always gold, and don't worry about what they got going on. Just take accountability for what you did and keep pushing, and that's it. That's all.
Right. And I be looking at them, like I be seeing them on social media. They're in relationships. I haven't been in a relationship in like a real relationship in 2 years, and he's in a relationship, and I feel like I'm failing my love life, because people go to college, they say that you meet your soulmate in college. I didn't meet no one.
Yeah.
I live without the ring,
exactly.
Everybody else be getting.
Yeah. And then you be feeling like you said, you feel at your love life, but in reality it's just like, no, God is just preparing you for something bigger than what you could even imagine. It's just that we robbed our time at one point of getting it when it probably was available, but we always, it's a choice. Like I said, we be choosing things, or sometimes we don't choose things, and that just be what we have to go through in order to build ourselves and grow ourselves to be who we are today. And it's important, but it's life. But okay, before we end this video, okay, this is a good one. Okay, so it says fifth chakra, which is this one right here, is your heart chakra. And it says compassion and forgiveness. So it says, I have compassion for myself and for those around me. I let go of anger, resentments, and torments from the past, and I do not give my power away to those involved. Forgiveness is a gift I give to myself. I forgive myself for things I feel I could have done differently in the past, and I remind myself that my response cannot have been any more evolved than it was at the time. I am compassionate to those in need, as this shows them that they are not alone. I practice this by listening, sharing, understanding, and being of service. I like that one better.
I do.
And so with that, how do you feel about that? With, compassion and forgiveness?
Like I think I need to forgive myself, because like me not finishing like how everybody else, because I was supposed to finish in 4 years, but I did fail some classes, unfortunately, and I was supposed to graduate last May, but is that last May? Yeah, last May. I was supposed to graduate in last May, and I felt like I was failing. Like everybody was counting on me to graduate in May. It like I had like how my summer was going to go.
Yeah.
And I felt like I failed myself, because I had all these plans that I was going to do, but I wasn't able to do those plans anymore.
Yeah. And so now you know that. Do you feel like you're able to now?
Yeah, I feel like I'm able to. I really need to take some time for like myself and actually go on a vacation.
Yeah.
Because I really don't go on vacations.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up going on vacations or anything. So it's kind of strange when I do.
Yeah.
And it's pretty nice. It's nice.
It is. It's good to take out a you time. It's very, very important. It's something that I have been applying into my life. That is something normal I've been adding into the process of Kiera. But y'all heard at the end of how I read the card, but technical difficulties. It's okay, y'all. It's okay, But I appreciate you being on here. How you feel about everything? How you feel at the end of it now? Because at the beginning she was nervous, but how you feel now?
I'm still kind of nervous. I'm like, what? They're gonna look at me like she's saying some bullshit and something like that. Like,
no, you were saying some good stuff.
Okay.
You was being honest. You allowed your inner thoughts to be enter inner thoughts with Kiera. You feel me? I appreciate you for sharing your inner thoughts, because it's not always easy. It's not easy sharing. Like you had told me, I didn't realize that I am comfortable with just saying what I be going through, and I just be talking about it. But that's just a normal thing for me. But make sure y'all like, make sure y'all comment, make sure y'all subscribe, hit that bell to where you can know whenever I post my next videos, okay? But I hope y'all have an amazing day, night, wherever you're at watching this video in this time frame. But peace, love, blessings. Bye, you guys.